So you're going and you're ready to get dressed to go somewhere, and you put on an outfit that you think you're going to love, and you look in the mirror, and suddenly you're just like, wait a second, something's wrong with this. But you don't know what it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So, today I'm very excited to talk about this topic because I feel like it's something that happens to everybody at some point in their life. So you're going and you're ready to get dressed to go somewhere, and you put on an outfit that you think you're going to love, and you look in the mirror, and suddenly you're just like, wait a second, something's wrong with this. But you don't know what it is. And I think at those times, like when you're in a rush and you're going out the door, or you're trying to get dressed, or trying to move quickly in that moment, it feels so frustrating that you just like take the whole outfit off and you don't take time to consider what could be wrong with the outfit. Because most of the time, that outfit consists of a lot of pieces that we really, really love. Because obviously, we thought we were going to like what we put on, we put it on our bodies. But I want to give you a little bit of a formula today for some questions that you can ask yourself to determine what is wrong with the outfit so that you can change things and make it work for you. So, the first thing I want you to consider is to look at your transition points. The transition points on your outfit is anywhere where your clothing meets your skin, or anywhere where the clothing meets each other. For example, if you're wearing a shirt with a skirt and then a pair of socks and shoes. Your transition points are up here at the top between your neck and your shirt. Anywhere, like depending, long sleeve, short sleeve, like this is a transition point where my clothing meets my skin, or where my shirt meets my skirt, where my socks meet my skin at the bottom, where my shoes meet my socks. You get the picture. Anywhere where two pieces of clothing are coming together, or anywhere where your skin is meeting a piece of clothing, that is a transition point. These are the points where we can change things to make your outfit look different and make changes to it to make it feel right or look right to you. The second thing to consider is your proportions. Do your proportions feel off? Often, I'm not going to say all the time because I don't believe in fashion rules, but very, very often, outfits work in a measure of thirds. That means 1/3 to 2/3. That means you can work as 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. It just often works the best that way and is the most pleasing to the eye that way, normally. So that's the second thing to consider. So, to bring this all together, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this. Our first example is going to be this long black dress with an oversized sweatshirt. This is an outfit that I wore recently, and I wanted to wear the skirt. It was very comfortable, and I wanted to wear the sweatshirt because it was a really cold morning out and I wanted to be super warm. But when I put this outfit on, something doesn't sit right. And so, taking our two questions into consideration, looking at all my transition points and looking at the proportions of my outfit, I determined that my proportions were off. It was very much cutting me in half. My sweatshirt was landing in a place that wasn't super flattering or comfortable on me. So I got out my tucky and I put it around my dress, and I tucked the sweatshirt up into the tucky. I'm accentuating where you can see the smallest part of my body, which feels right. Also, honestly, the sweatshirt felt more comfortable sitting up there than it did sitting down on my hips. I did leave it untucked in the back and around the side a little bit for a little bit of that like casual loosey-goosey feel. I just really like that look. If you wanted to tuck it in all the way around, that would be totally fine as well. The second example is going to be this black pleated skirt and then an oversized denim shirt. This is one of my latest favorite outfits to wear. So if I just put the pleated short black skirt on and the denim, it's really unflattering. If I would stand in the mirror, I would be like, there's definitely something wrong with this. So we're going to look at those two things again. We're going to look at our transition points and we're going to look at proportions. So proportions with this is kind of hard because it is such an oversized fit. So I'm actually going to go to the first thing and I'm going to go to the transition points. I'm going to roll up my sleeves to show more skin over here. I'm going to keep the top unbuttoned, showing more skin right here. So it's not so like overwhelming. Like I'm showing a lot of leg and not a lot of skin up here. It doesn't feel super balanced. So just like simply rolling up my sleeves and opening this up a little bit and keeping it unbuttoned. No worries, I have a tank top on underneath. That balances out the look so much. So already it's looking better. Next, we're going to go to my shoes. What shoes should I add to this? Well, because I'm short and because this is a short skirt, I need some length. I feel like it helps my look so much. So I'm going to put on some nice heels. This helps the proportions as well. Other questions that you can ask when we're looking at the first, like looking at your transition points, are like, do I need to tuck things in? Which we did in the first one with the proportions. And I find a lot of time these are two different separate things to look at, but I find a lot of time these things are kind of interchangeable. We're going to keep them separate just because in our brains, so we remember both of them, because we don't want to get things jumbled up and forget to look at things. Like you are just looking at proportions and you forget about sleeves, you forget about neckline, you forget about like shoes, socks, all of that. So we want to keep them separate, but we also want to remember that they are a little bit interchangeable. So when we do tuck things in, we do change our proportions as well. Another question that we sometimes ask is, do I need to make it shorter? Which leads me to our third example. This example is my long black silk skirt and my oversized denim shirt. I'm using it again. I love this outfit. I've worn this outfit, but I think because my top is so oversized, this skirt is definitely too long to wear with it. So I'm going to take my tucky again. I'm going to put it around my black skirt and I'm going to shorten it. And then we're going to add in some cute sneakers. And if you wanted to add in a little sock, like make it short, you could have a little ruffle sock. I think that's so cute. So that's working with your transition points. You're working with the point from your skirt to your skin to the sock to the shoe. And depending on what you like, you might like that little extra piece of fabric there in the bottom. But for me today, we're just going to do a short sock and a sneaker. And then I do like the look of making this skirt shorter, so the outfit isn't swallowing me up and I'm showing some skin down here. I'm also going to roll up the sleeves again and leave the top undone a little bit, so I'm showing skin on my arms and up here just to balance the whole thing out. Another thing to consider is your shoes. Your shoes are always going to matter in your outfit, and they are going to make or break your outfit. Sometimes, not all the time. I think shoes are super important. I also love shoes and I'm a little obsessed with them. So for this example, I have this red dress and I am obviously dressing it up. I'm putting it with this white lace front tie shirt. And then I started with this chunky shoe, which in general or in theory, I would say should work. But for some reason, I wasn't loving it. I put it on and it just did not look right. And then I went for the sleeker pointed toe shoe, and it just kind of pulled everything together. It made everything look final. And I think it's because having the big skirt on the dress is kind of a lot with having a big chunky shoe. Also, the dress is kind of the focal point of the outfit. So having a statement shoe on the bottom is also kind of distracting and overwhelming when you're looking at the look. Putting on a more refined, pointy shoe, more low key, no back, minimal, kind of made the look feel complete instead of looking like, okay, where is my eye supposed to look? Is it supposed to be drawn to the big shoe or is it supposed to be drawn to the big dress? Another thing that you can think about changing is your hair. So I always feel when I wear this look, the oversized shirt, the pleated skirt, all of that, I feel like if my hair are out, like I don't know, kind of in my face, that sort of like messy look that I kind of normally wear, I don't know, it just takes away from the looks. I often wear my hair slicked back and like pulled into a tight bun with that look. I just feel like it kind of makes the look, if you know what I mean. So sometimes you can even check your hair. Sometimes you need a ponytail. Sometimes you need to pull your hair back tight. Maybe sometimes you need to let your hair down, pull some hairs out. My fifth example is going to be my beautiful black 100% cotton pack dress. If you didn't see my video where I review packed and talk about their products, you can go over and look at it. They have really great organic cotton products. Just as I did there, when I put it on and I just put the t-shirt on top, it just doesn't feel quite right. But then when I knot it and pull it up a little bit, it just pulls the look together. It feels more complete. The difference is how the shirt is transitioning with my dress, the different ways it can look in that transition from shirt to dress, shirt to skirt, whatever it is. And then I added some flats and a hat, and the look was done. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wear all of these looks exactly like this. We're all different. We like different things. We like how things fit differently. Our bodies are different. Different people like different ways fabric feels, fits feel, all of these different things. Our bodies are all so different. So, these are the examples I use, and the way that I made clothing work well for me. Those exact things are not going to necessarily work for you. But just asking yourself the different questions that I asked with these different examples, asking yourself, do I need to roll up the sleeves? Do I need to mess with the neckline, open some button, close some buttons, different shoe, different hair? Those are all really good things to ask yourself when you are working with an outfit and when something just doesn't feel quite right and you don't know what it is. And maybe sometimes you have to switch out like a different top, different pants, whatever it is. A lot of the time, I think these things, the transitions, the proportions, are a little bit overlooked. We think that we have to change a piece of clothing rather than tweak a piece of clothing we already have on. Just something to consider the next time you're getting dressed and things just don't feel quite right. I would love to hear from you guys which question registered with you the most, whether it's proportions or it's transitions or the shoes, the hair. I would love to hear from you guys. Have you ever considered the transitions before? And if you have, how you've used them in your own closet, or proportions, what proportions you like, whether you are long torso, short torso, what it looks like working with your body and proportions. And if you like the video, please subscribe for more videos just like it. Again, thank you guys for being here.